Okay guys, so in this one, we're going to stamp the cards and the envelopes for your daily divine messages. So in the supplies list, I had listed that you needed 2 of the silver foil edged cards and envelope packages. So you should have 2. Now there is 20 each, but of course we need 31. Now there are extra cards, and so you can use them for the next month, or you can use them for other cards. We'll go over that as we're making the journal, but for now, make sure you have your 2 cards. You also need a little lace stamping, the stamp set, because we will be using this stamp on all the cards and the envelopes and the heart. So you're also going to need either your block, and both this block and that block. The sizes were 4.5 by 3.5 and 1 by 1. Or if you have the Stamparatus, you will want to get your Stamparatus ready. And this is what the Stamparatus looks like. And I will show you both ways. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the stamping on the front page, but as well we're going to be doing the stamping on each envelope, and we're going to stamp the card. So we're going to do all the stamping at one time so it's ready, and it just works so much smoother. So you can go ahead and open your cards up. And then you know, in this one package, that's going to be 20 envelopes and 20 cards. So you're going to need all of those. And in the second package, you're going to need, sorry, I can't multitask. $11, because you need 31. So 20 plus 11 is 31. So then you're going to take 11 envelopes here. And you're going to have your extra envelopes, which you can keep in case you need them, or we can make different projects. We'll talk a little more about that later, but for now, let's just get to the stamping. And then plus you need 11 more cards. So also count 11 more cards. And then you're going to have extra cards, and you're going to just want to put them in to the side. So now you have your 31 envelopes and your 31 cards, and you're going to need 1 extra card for the front, which we'll do at the end, so you can just put it at the side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our envelopes. So if you have, so what I do, I actually always do, one at a time. So I keep them here, but I always have, I always do this so that I can make sure I get a nice stamp. So if you're using your stamping block, you're going to want to take your stamp. You're going to put it on your block. Press it down. You're going to take your Memento black ink. And what I do is I just you want to make sure that, I'm trying not to shake the camera too much, but you want to make sure that you get a good coverage. And then you're going to stamp your image. Now, I always make sure I don't get it here, and I might go off the ends here. This is where you might want to put it on something so that you don't mess up your surface if you're using this. So I make sure, even though I go off, you can see it doesn't fit quite on there. That's okay, because I don't want it on the foil. And then I press down, and ta-da! There is that image. Now I'm going to kind of show you why I love the Stamparatus. So I'm going to set it up on the Stamparatus and kind of show you here. So if you don't do, you want to measure it on here. And that's why I put this little block here, because, well, I know because I've already done this journal, but that's where I want it. So I place the journal, I place the stamp where I want it. Again, I want to make sure that it's not on the silver lined, and then I press it down. Then it's stuck on the Stamparatus. And the thing I love about that is you can kind of see that there's an image there, but you know what, you wouldn't want it that light. So this is the thing I love about the Stamparatus, especially when you're doing 31 envelopes. And any of the journal projects that we'll be doing, you're going to be multiple envelopes. So then you stamp in the same place again, and you don't get two lines. So that's awesome. And then you can quickly do all of the, I actually always just hold under here a little bit because I don't like to put the stress on there. And then I stamp it up. I stamp it up for each one because I love that crisp black line. And then you get it at the same place on every envelope. So you'd go ahead and you would do that to all 31 envelopes. And once you're done stamping all 31 envelopes, put them to the side. Actually, no, because the one thing you're going to do is we also have to do the heart at the bottom. So once you're done all the tops, let's just go right to the bottom of the envelope and then we're done. So you're going to want to take a little lace, again, and the heart stamp. You're going to want to put that on there. And I use a block for this one. You could use the Stamparatus, but because the Stamparatus I always have set up for the envelopes, I just use the block. Now you just dab it in there. And I put it here. Now this is going to be for the number of the day. So the first, second, third, fourth, and I put it right here. And so then you would do your second. And you would do this to all 31 of them. And so once you're done your heart stamp and your the flowers, you would go to the cards. Now for this, we're going to go back to the Stamparatus, but you can also do this just with your regular, I'm just going to use that to hold the card down. And what we want for this one is this image on the front. So what I do here, and this is like, you could clean this off because if you do drop it, you're going to have the, put it here. So you're going to have it mark up. So what I do is I'm just kind of making sure it doesn't hit the silver, making sure it kind of takes up, you know what, a lot of the space there, so that it doesn't look so plain here. Again, I push down on that. And then I'm going to do it one more time because, again, that's pretty light. Now, because I dropped it, there is a little more of a double. You're going to see that here. Do you see how it's kind of a little more doubled there because I dropped it and I moved it? So I'll show you the difference if you... And then you're going to do all 31 cards, whether you have the block or the Stamparatus, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and see, so you can see how this one has a little more of a double image there, and this one doesn't have any. It's very slight, but make sure I don't know if you've seen that one there, and then this one here. But that might not even bug some people. So go ahead and you want to do all 31 of your cards. Then once you're done all the 31 fronts, you're going to do the front of your cover. Now for this one, you are going to want to cut with your trimmer. Move this actually for a second. You're going to want to cut with your trimmer the back of the card. So I just line it up here right with the trimmer, and I cut that off. Now you can keep this for another project. Again, this is a big scrap, so I like those because you're going to want it for back paper at some point. And then you're going to want to go ahead and do your stamping. So for this, you could use your Stamparatus or you can use the block. I'm going to use the block for this one because there's only one cover, so that will be easier for me. And you can put the image you're trying to recreate right beside there, so you can kind of get it lined up. Stamp up your pad, and then you know what, this is exactly like I did the cards for the inside, so you could just use the Stamparatus. I just kind of showed you that because it's the exact same place. And then just stamp up your hearts, and I put 3 hearts, and I literally just because I liked how they looked, fill in that space. And then you have your cover. So everything is all stamped up. And that is everything for now. So make sure you stamp all your envelopes, all 31 of your cards, and do your front, clean up, and then come back for the next video.